Hare Krishna, my brothers and my sisters. We are going deep into one of the most intense and misunderstood forces in Vedic astrology, Rahu in the houses. And I want you to listen closely because Rahu is not just chaos. Rahu is desire. Rahu is obsession. Rahu is that part of you that is hungry to become more, even when you do not know how to hold it yet. So if you have ever felt there is one area in your life that you cannot stop thinking about, chasing, fearing, or trying to fix, there is a good chance that Rahu is sitting right there in your chart. So let us check out what this means for Rahu in each of the houses.
Shri Krishna Shri Advaita Kara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
In this video, I'm going to break down Rahu in all the 12 houses, what it can look like in real life, what the soul is learning through it, and how to work with Rahu in a way that brings more power and maturity instead of anxiety and sabotage, along with some remedies as well. So make sure you watch this for your rising sign and your moon sign, because the house placement is everything. And as you listen, notice what hits you in your chest, usually the house where Rahu has been running the show, that is exactly where it lies. But before we get into the houses, let us understand a little bit more about the history of Rahu. Rahu is the great illusionist, the outsider, and the catalyst of evolution, for our evolution. Among all the grahas in Vedic astrology, Rahu is perhaps one of the most mysterious and sometimes misunderstood. Unlike the visible planets, Rahu is actually a shadow planet. So there's really no physical energy to it. It's just a shadow, representing obsession, ambition, worldly desire, illusion, foreign influence, innovation, technology, and karmic evolution. This is the reason why it's more of a demonic and malefic energy. So Rahu is not inherently good or bad. Rahu is just there for almost presenting us the temptation to see if we're going to fall for the temptation and become more obsessed and attached to the material world, or to actually see it for what it is. So he magnifies whatever it touches, and it pushes us into an experience that accelerates growth, often through desire, confusion, and unconventional paths. It is that hunger that we have within ourselves. So one of the pastimes of Rahu is the energies, one of the most famous ones is actually that comes from the churning of the cosmic ocean, which is known as the Samudra Manthana. And so in the Devas and the Asuras, the demons and the gods were all coming together to churn the cosmic ocean to obtain the Amrita. And this is the nectar of immortality. The Devas were in very big trouble, and they needed the help of the demons to get this. And they promised the demons that the demons were also going to get a piece of the Amrita. And so, of course, the demons were like, of course we want it, because we have always wanted to be immortal. So when the nectar emerged, they started like churning the milk ocean. There was many things that came out of this ocean. And one of them was first poison, which Shiva actually was able to hold in his throat and save the world from the poison that could have affected it. Then after this, many other things came through the churning of the ocean, from a wishing cow to Lakshmi, to many beautiful things, to a lot of beautiful gifts that came out of the churning of the ocean. But the last thing that will come out was the Amrita. And this churning of the ocean also represents our own sadhana, our own way of actually managing our spirituality, and how we are churning the milk ocean within ourselves when we're doing sadhana, when we're doing tapasya, when we're doing meditation, mantra chanting, and when we're doing our own spiritual practices. This is churning the ocean within us. And of course, that's what they say, that when we have a spiritual practice, or a spiritual awakening, the first thing that comes out is actually like a poisonous energy, okay? It's not a super easy ride, but the more we churn, the more things come out. and then eventually we finally get to that elixir of immortality. And so finally the Devas and the Asuras got there, and the nectar emerged, and then Krishna took the form of Mohini. And this is a very powerful, beautiful form of Krishna, where it was so beautiful, so gorgeous, that it bewildered all the demons. And this was the way that Vishnu was able to kind of trick the demons, because the devas, the demigods, were a little bit, now that the Amrita came out, what are we going to do? We can't have the demons become immortal. And so Krishna was like, don't worry, I got you. I got something that up my sleeve. And that's when he became Mohini. And it took this form, a very enchanting celestial woman that was just so gorgeous that all the demons were like, you do whatever you want, we will follow you. And she said, I'm going to be the one who's going to distribute the nectar, and I'm going to be distributing it one by one, and I'm deciding to distribute it to the devas. And the asuras were so bewildered that they were like, okay, do whatever you like, no problem. But there was this one demon, one asura named Sravanu, disguised himself as a deva and secretly sat among them. And we can see it in this picture, how it sat between Chandra and Surya Dev. And this is why we have this whole thing with Rahu making the eclipses between the moon and the sun, and it eclipses the sun and eclipses the moon. And it was the smart asura that was like, I'm not going to fall for that. Like, I'm going to get my Amrita. And of course, at the moment that it got the Amrita, it touched one drop in his tongue. And that's when Mohini brought out his Sudan chakra and cut the head of Rahu. So it already became immortal, but now it was divided into a head and in a body. And the head became Rahu and the body became Ketu. And so this is just... this is a very powerful story of how Rahu came about, because he had already tasted the nectar, and so he became immortal, but now it was still living with among everybody. So the head became Rahu and the body became Ketu. So why Rahu chases the sun and the moon? We can see it here sitting in between the sun and the moon, because the sun and the moon exposed him. In this scene, we can see that the moon and the sun were the ones who were like, oh my gosh, he doesn't belong here. He's not an asura. And so he's seeking revenge because of this. He's really upset. He's seeking revenge. And so the myth explains the eclipses, which is symbolically that the sun represents the soul and the truth, the moon represents the mind and the emotions, but Rahu represents illusion, obsession, and worldly desire. And this is what eclipses our mind and our emotions, and what eclipses our soul and our truth. So whenever Rahu eclipses the sun and the moon, truth becomes temporarily obscure. This is the reason why the world and ourselves personally, we can go through a lot of ups and downs when we experience an eclipse. So the spiritual meaning of Rahu is a very important one, especially when it comes to astrology, because it represents the obsession, the ambition, the desire. It also represents fame and recognition, also represents foreign cultures and travel, technology and social media, AI, innovation and disruption, as well as material achievement, breaking traditions, and karmic cravings. So Rahu is constantly asking, what do you think will make you happy? That is the Rahunian energy trying to get us more and more obsessed with material life. This is the reason why social media, doom scrolling, is a very Rahunian thing, where we are looking at other people's lives, and it is bringing into our hearts more desires and more desires and more desires. Like, oh, if I could just have that, then I'll be happy. If I could have their life, then I'll be happy. If I could have what they have, then I'll be happy. If I'm like this person, then I'll be happy. And that's why when we are doom scrolling, we feel drained. We never have this feeling of oh my God, I feel so boosted. No, we feel this drainage, this hankering in our hearts, and this dissatisfaction that we may not be there. Then it sends us into a journey to discover whether what we desire truly fulfills us, and that is the role of Rahu. And so very powerful significance is that Rahu shows the areas of intense growth, is where we really want to grow a lot. Also, our unfinished karmic desires, what our soul hasn't discovered or explored yet, and where we seek worldly success, how we seek this worldly success, and where we may become obsessed with these things on a daily basis and where life pushes us beyond our comfort zone. That is the energy of Rahu that is pushing us to go beyond our comfort zone. So the house occupied by Rahu often becomes a major focus in our lifetime. A very important placement. So a strong Rahu can give massive public influence, social media success. It can give charisma and magnetism, entrepreneurship ability. It can give innovation and originality. It can give global recognition. It can give courage to challenge the norms. So many celebrities, politicians, influencers, and public figures have a very prominent Rahu placement for sure. Now, when we have an afflicted Rahu, this can bring different results where we may feel more anxiety, more confusion. Addictions are coming from the energies of Rahu. Obsessions are coming from the H of Rahu. Manipulation, escapism, chronic dissatisfaction with our lives, and extreme highs and lows, and identity confusion, existential crises. This is all the Rahunian energy when it's being afflicted. So Rahu often creates the feeling, I'll be happy when I get the next thing, when I get the next, when I get the next, when I get the next, which actually just gets us more and more deeply embedded in attachments and in material confusive life. So yet the fulfillment always feels elusive, kind of like, oh, if I had a big house, then I'll be happy. And then it's like, no, but now I want a mansion, but now I want a castle, or I got a car, but now I want another car, but now I want a jet, but now I want a boat. Like these things of the never-ending hunger where we're trying to find and chase happiness with temporary and material things that are not going to fully fulfill us. So the higher purpose of Rahu is that our soul really enters in a life with unfinished desires. And so Rahu is the vehicle through which those desires are going to be explored. At first, Rahu seeks success, recognition, validation, achievement. So eventually Rahu teaches us that external success alone cannot satisfy the soul. And that is the deeper truth and purpose for Rahu. Because we may say, well, how come Krishna let Rahu live? Because Krishna knows everything. Why did Mohini let him live? Because this was the role that Rahu had to do. The service that Rahu has to do is that it's going to teach us that external success alone cannot satisfy our soul deeply. And this realization begins in the journey towards Ketu. Then we're going to go into the Ketu energy where we go into the spiritual liberation. So this is a little bit on what Rahu is all about and the power of Rahu. And now let's talk about the remedies that we can use for Rahu. This is a very important energy that you can use in order for you to get a stronger Rahu, a more balanced Rahu, and a Rahu that doesn't disrupt your life so much. Use it if you have Rahu Mahadasha, if you have Rahu Antardasha, if you are having a difficult placement with Rahu, a debilitating placement with Rahu, in a difficult nakshatra, in a difficult sign, in a difficult house placement. Definitely use these powerful remedies for Rahu that are going to definitely help you. So Rahu is best balanced through grounding, spiritual discipline, and truthfulness, which means that if we have technology addiction, if we're addicted to the phone, if we're addicted to technology, if we're addicted to being inside doors and doing things with the computer for too long, like this is going to definitely bring Rahu out of balance. So it is very important that we have the practices of grounding, of spiritual discipline, and of truthfulness. This is going to maintain Rahu under the grip. Another amazing remedy for Rahu is actually becoming vegetarian. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I'm just giving you the ancient knowledge. Like this is just what it is. Rahu is a very, very excessive energy, to the point that it's like whatever I want, I get, and my desires are going to get fulfilled, even if I have to kill, even if I have to walk over people, and even if I have to do something that is not moral. That is the Rahunian energy. And so it's the same thing with being vegetarian. When you're vegetarian, you're controlling. There's a self-restraint that is happening here, where we're not just killing for the desires of our tongue. And so this is something that definitely subsides the intensity of Rahu, and it actually brings it down into balance. This is one of the main reasons what they say that spiritual practices always bring an energy of vegetarianism, because the Rahunian energy becomes more exasperated with the energies of eating meat and blood. So very, very powerful energies in that. Take it as you will. I'm just giving you the information of the remedies here. Another powerful remedy is chanting mantras. Chanting them on Saturdays, especially during the Rahu Hora. Om Rahave Namaha, Om Rahave Namaha, Om Rahave Namaha, or you can also chant the Om Pram Prim Prom Sa Rahave Namaha. Om Pram Prim Prom Sa Rahave Namaha. Om Pram Brim Prom Sa Rahave Namaha. Chanting them at least 108 times will definitely bring healing to your Rahu energies. Another powerful way of bringing remedy to Rahu is worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev, which is the form of Krishna when he is half lion, half man. It's one of the strongest traditional remedies for Rahu is the devotion to Nrsimhadev. So Nrsimha destroys illusion, fear, psychic disturbances, and negative influences that are associated with Rahu. Many astrologers recommend Nrsimha Kabacham, which is a little jewelry that you wear on your neck, Nrsimha prayers, and meditations on Nrsimhadev, as well as living simply, which is something that maybe, again, it's a little bit controversial to our Western world, but simplifying our life is a way to maintain control over the Rahunian energies, because Rahu thrives in excess. Excess food, excess consumption, excess greed, excess buying, excess exploitation. Excess. It's an exaggerated energy because Rahu is a head that has no stomach. So imagine when you just eat, and it never gets fulfilled. That is the energy of Rahu. So reduce overconsumption of media and technology use. This is one of the main ones. Even when you see like the phone is a black screen, you know, like it's a very Rahunian energy that absorbs you, and there's a lot of illusions that kind of come through here. And so overconsumption of media, overconsumption of technology, you know, especially at night, this could be very, very detrimental, and it could really exasperate the Rahunian energy. Constant stimulation, that's another thing. Rahu is that energy that is instant gratification, and it needs to be stimulated all the time. If not, it gets bored. If not, it gets angsty. If not, it gets like it cannot sit still. So a constant stimulation. We're constantly stimulated. Let's say computer, phone, a movie and the TV while there's like radio playing. Like this is too much overstimulation. And the Rahu thrives in this excess energy, but it's actually bringing a lot of detriment to our lives. So practicing simplicity, practicing stillness and silence, practicing not being overstimulated, and even too much caffeine. Like energy drinks are very Rahuvian. So too much caffeine, too much stimulation. That's why also intoxicants are also a Rahunian thing. Addictions, drugs are something that has to do with Rahu. So when we're overstimulating our body, this is a Rahunian thing. And especially if you're under a Rahu Mahadasha, Antardasha, or you have a Rahunian moon, nakshatra, or a strong placement of Rahu, like you have to be very controlled of this, because you can easily fall into addictions and constant stimulation. Addictive behaviors, as I mentioned, all types of addictive behaviors, from marijuana to alcohol to cigarettes to all of it. You know, I'm an advocate for plant medicine, but I am not an advocate for abusing plant medicine. You know, and even the plant medicine will turn their back on you if you are constantly using it and abusing it. It needs to be more in a ritualistic situation, in a very, you know, specific times, rare times, and not on a daily basis. So addictive behaviors can also be very detrimental, and not just drugs, but also pornography. Any excess of addiction to food, addiction to work, addiction to pornography, addiction to anything that we may have an addiction to. Rahu is the one in charge of this. An endless comparison also affects the Rahu. And this is why I mentioned about, you know, the comparison to other people. That's what they say. Comparison is the thief of joy. This is that energy of Rahu. We're comparing our lives to other people. We're comparing our own karmas to other people's karmas. And that's not how it works. Everybody has to have their own karma. Some people have the karma to becoming very, very wealthy and being born in a wealthy family. Some other people don't have that karma. And we cannot be jealous or envious because of other karmas. We have to really accept our own path, our own karmas, and what life has delivered for us, what we need to purify, and be conscious enough to create better karmas in the present life. So a simpler life becomes the weaker Rahu's illusions. Rahu can get you into so many illusions when you are choosing to have a more simple life. Also, meditation, very important to maintain some remedies for Rahu. Rahu often overstimulates the mind. And so here, meditation helps to create distance from obsessive thinking, anxiety, restlessness, all these mental problems, all these mental illusions, or all these mental diseases are actually Rahunian in nature. And we haven't seen yet how this lifestyle of over technology is really going to affect our generations into another like 15, 20 years. Then we're going to see all these new types of mental issues coming up because of the overconsumption and overstimulation of technology. So meditation, very, very important. Also practicing integrity, because Rahu's story begins with deception. Honesty becomes the powerful remedy for Rahu. So lying, deceiving, greedy, doing all these things in the shadows. This is all the energy of Rahu. So we need to avoid manipulation, avoid exaggeration, avoid false personas or false promises, and avoid chasing validation. This is definitely going to worsen the energies of Rahu. Now, charity, of course, is a wonderful way to also bring remedies into our Rahunian energy. So donate to foreign students, also donate to refugees, donate to marginalized communities, and people struggling with addiction or mental distress. So Rahu often rules those in societies, outcasts, or people that have been abandoned. So donating to them, especially any items that are blue, any items that are, like blue, dark blue, that is the items for Rahu. And also, it is so crucial that if we don't want Rahu to be too intense in our lives and to completely bring us into illusion, we need to strengthen our moon. So I highly suggest that you go check out my moon video, because there you will be able to find out more about your moon, how to strengthen it, because a strong moon helps to counteract Rahu's confusion. Okay, especially if your moon is weak, you're more prone to having Rahu really taking over you. So check out my moon in the houses. It also has remedies in there that is going to really help you. So really support the moon through emotional healing, time in nature, consistent routines, and devotional practices. This strengthens the moon. So Rahu's greatest lesson is that Rahu's not your enemy. He is here as a teacher to show you where your desires live. And through Rahu, we learn discernment over obsession. We also learn purpose over ambition, and truth over illusion, and fulfillment over endless craving. That is the purpose of Rahu here. So one of the affirmations that we can use for Rahu healing is, I see clearly beyond illusion. I pursue my goals with wisdom and integrity, and my soul is greater than my desires. These are some wonderful ways to bring remedies into the energies of Rahu. Now let us go into each individual house to see what the Rahu energies signified for you. Please check your Vedic astrological chart. In my description here below, you will be able to find your Vedic astrological calculator, which will help you to get the right placement for your Rahu. Let us see. Welcome to anybody who has their Rahu in the first house. If you have Rahu in the first house, then this is for you. So when we have Rahu in the first house, this becomes very predominant and is usually a so-so placement. Is a place where we are definitely going to be embodying a lot of the Rahunian energy. So for you, I highly suggest that you really follow the remedies at the beginning of the video, because you really need to bring this Rahu under control, especially if it's in your first house. Because here we have an unusual or innovative behavior. You are that person who is who is a little bit contradicting to everything in the world. You like to go at the beat of your own drum, but you're also the unique one, the different one, and the sort of outcast. You have your own way to go about things. Rahu here enters into the first house of the body, which means that Rahu can also give you some body, like you might be that person that feels like body things, and you're like, what is this feeling? Or weird little body things that you don't know what they are. So Rahu here is really trying to get you connected and to become a master of your body by exercising, by eating well, by controlling your cravings, by not being excessive. One of the things that I have seen with Rahu in the first people, they eat extremely fast. So controlling how fast you eat, controlling how much you consume, controlling how much excess you do in your life is literally one of the biggest lessons of the Rahu in the first house. And becoming more of a master of your body, that is where Rahu wants to take you. So those who really become the masters of their body can actually become incredible athletes when you have a Rahu in the first house. So here, when it is favorable, the Rahu is definitely going to be shrewd, cautious. You're also going to be in a mystical disposition. You're going to be attracted to spiritual things. You're going to be attracted to mysticism. You're also going to have a self-sufficient energy where you take action on your own. That's another thing about the Rahu in the first, is like you really have come to figure it out by yourself. And so this kind of takes you into a path of solitude, or a path where you just are going to be the trailblazer of your life. You don't do well when people tell you what to do. You don't do well when people even advise you good things for your life. You just cannot take it. You have to really discover your own growth, your own things. And this is something that it could be a demise, not being able to listen to other people's wisdom. But it is something where you just need to truly do it on your own. And that is something that Rahu wants you to really figure out. So very self-sufficient in that way. And stepping into this autonomy is like a big goal of your Rahu in the first house. Also, you have a warrior energy. I do suggest that you definitely work out, become an athlete, study martial arts, study things that help you to move your body. This is going to really help you to channel this warrior-like energy within you in the right ways, and not in a destructive way against your own body. Also, there's a lot of strong of self-preserving, and this is another thing where people may see you a little bit more of a selfish narcissist. You preserve yourself before anybody else. There's this energy of self-preservation, and because of that, that's when you feel that people are trying to make you do something, or people are trying to tell you what to do, or they're trying to advise you and take you into a path, and you see this as like some sort of control, like, oh, this person's trying to control me, they're trying to push me to be something that I'm not, they're trying to make me become something that I'm not. And this immediately triggers this energy of self-preservation, where you want to preserve yourself, or you want to preserve your own energies. This is one of the reasons why your relationships can suffer a little bit, since we do have Ketu in the opposite house of the relationships and marriage. So this is a lot of self-preservation constantly. You're also accommodating, and when you have a good Rahu here, you accommodate a little bit better. You are not so rigid, but you actually are more flexible and accommodating to life and to situations and to your environment and to other people. Also, you're able to throw others' negativities. The negativity of others can touch you, and you are very, very strong in this energy. That's why even if people criticize you, or think you're crazy, or think you're so much of an outcast, or think you're this or that, like you don't really let it get to you. It doesn't matter. You don't really feel like, I don't really care what people think of me. And that is definitely a powerful strength here for you. You focus on developing personal power and wealth most of the time, people that have Rahu in the first house. You are trying to master the energies of power, and to master the energies of wealth, and to master the energies of ambition here in your own self-assertion. And also there is this energy of building success in alliances with others. That is how your Rahu really learns to grow the best. It's not to do it all alone, but to learn to become your own person within the group, within the relation, within the collaboration, and that you don't shadow yourself here, but that you also don't overpower others, like finding that sweet middle ground. So this is when Rahu is a very favorable energy in the first house. When it is not favorable and when it's actually in detriment, in a difficult sign, badly aspected, or just with our own actions, we've exasperated the Rahu energy, then we can see some of the unfavorable parts, which is more like you live in the shadows of others' success, where you can stand out and become your own person or become your own individual. There might be a fear to take leadership. There might be a fear to have a title that makes you responsible. You kind of stay living in the shadows, and you stay living in the shadow of others. So that is when it's unfavorable. Also, when there's confusion, you might be always in the sense of confusion about your path, confusion about your destiny, confusion about your body, confusion about what is going on in your body, if you're feeling feelings and things inside your body. So this is also when it becomes unfavorable. Also, doubtful. It can step into a lot of doubtfulness, a lot of confusion. It can go into a lot of low self-promotion and low self-esteem if the Rahu is not strong here, where you just want to stay in the shadows. You don't want to stick out. You don't want to come out. You don't want to put yourself known out into the world. You kind of just want to live under the shadow of others. And this is actually coming from a sense of low self-esteem. You may feel afraid to promote yourself, to put yourself out there. Also, it doesn't have a sense of themselves. You may not truly understand or define yourself. I've seen people who have Rahu in the first house who actually avoid the mirror a lot, where they get a taken picture by them, and then they're like, whoa, who's that person? Is that me? Is that what I look like? It's like not knowing what you look like, not knowing what your body's like, not knowing what your image is like or what you're projecting out into the world. There's this sort of disconnection to your presentation and to your definition, and not just body-wise, but also in personality, where there's this feeling of like, nobody's ever going to understand me and nobody's going to ever define me. And so you kind of stay in this undefinable sort of concept of yourself, where you don't even define yourself either. So when you have Rahu in the first, it is extremely important that you do create some sort of brand of who you are and define your identity and define yourself and what you're all about and what you want to what you want to represent and what you want to be known in this world. Also, not a very dependable partner too. If it's debilitated here, you may be very difficult to work with. Not very dependable partner, not a very dependable person. Very strong sense of selfishness can come through here. Also, you get diseases that confuse or mystify doctors, where doctors are like, I don't even know what it is that you have, and you're like, I know I'm feeling something, and they're like, well, we don't really see anything going on there. And it's like constant confusion of doctors, and not just doctors physically, like physical doctors of your body, but like also mystifying psychologists, psychiatrists, where they're just like, I can't seem to define you. Like, you are undefinable. Like, you don't want to be defined. So you mystified a lot of the doctors that are trying to perceive you. Also, a little bit of a hypochondriac, where you're just like, oh my God, this little feeling, oh my God, this little twitch, oh my God, this little thing, oh my God, I felt this. Because there's this disconnection to your body and this lack of mastery of your body to really understand what is going on within your body. Also, toxic body. So you have to be so healthy with this Rahu. Like, stay away from drugs, stay away from, I would even say, become vegetarian. It's so important. Like, your body can easily become very acidic, can easily become very toxic. You can have unhealthy body and a very, like, if you're not diligently on your body, you can easily become very unhealthy. Also, allergies, rashes, blood impurities can happen here, headaches and injuries of the head, and also unusual accidents sometimes happen with you, as well as any odd appearances or behavior. There is this oddness about you. So if you're feeling or experiencing any of these unfavorable situations with Rahu in the first, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that is going to help you to bring this Rahu into balance, especially for you because you have Rahu in the first house. That is going to be very beneficial for you. So definitely check it out. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you take advantage and book a one-on-one consultation with me in the description here below. See the link in the description. Alrighty, those were your messages, my Rahu in the first people. I really hope that they help. Love you guys so much. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And also let me know in the comments, what is your Rahu placement, so that we can understand, and how has it shown up for you, so that we can understand a little bit more about your energies and the Rahu. Alrighty, those are your messages. And now we're going to be doing Rahu in the second. Rahu in the second is a powerful placement. Rahu actually can enjoy being in the second house. There is some good qualities here, especially because this is when your destiny is towards finances. So you have a really big mission with understanding your finances, your money, and becoming balanced in having the confidence and the integrity to actually create prosperity in your life. However, because this is the place that we haven't discovered yet, some of you guys may have a big sort of contradicting energy or a disbalanced energy with money, where either you don't want to make money, or you don't understand why the world has to be run by money, or what is the point of having money? Like, why do we have to work for money? Why do I have to work for money? Why do I have to do so much of my effort to just have money? Or it's like, I need money, I want money. So there's this obsession here. Another thing that I have seen with Rahu in the second people is you guys really need to control your spending habits. This is where the excess energy of Rahu really shows up. And it's like, you just spend your money so quick, so fast, so immediately. You made some good money, boom, you made like $700. Oh, it's gone in 2 days because you bought this, because you bought that. Like, you like to buy things, and you like to buy things that are expensive. And so it's a little hard for you to take control over your finances. And the Rahu here is trying to teach you to do that. When the energies are favorable, you are definitely clever in making money. When Rahu is favorable here, you're clever in making money. You have a power of making money. You have an ability to make money very easily. Money is also accumulated from foreign sources. So you can make money with foreign affairs, with foreign people, with foreign sources that can come easy here for you. Also, you enjoy exotic dinners. And there's definitely a lot of love for food here. A lot of love for food. Again, you really have to find ways to control your excess consumption, because this is the house of consuming food, consuming goods, consuming things. And so when Rahu comes here, it wants to consume a lot. It wants to buy a lot. It really goes deep into the society of consumption. So very important for you to control your consuming habits, drugs, food, buying, shopping, controlling these things. And I would also say for you, it would be very, very healthy for you to check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, so that you can control this Rahu a little bit more. And one of the greatest things you can do is to actually become vegetarian. Not being vegetarian can send this Rahu into immense excess, because this is the house of food. So even more important. So here, you also, if you have a good Rahu, you can also have unusual ornaments and facial decorations in your face. You can have a very unique, different voice. Like the sound of your voice can be very unique and different. You also enjoy a lot of like exotic foreign things to buy. There's also benefits from foreign languages. If you were to learn other foreign languages, you will do great. Rahu here really thrives in learning foreign languages. There's also an unusual speaking abilities that you may have. Maybe you're a ventriloquist, or you can talk really fast, or you have some sort of unique thing here with your voice that you can definitely explore when Rahu is favorable. There's also, you can make money from other people's monies, because Ketu is in the 8th house. And so you are a master at using other people's monies. But the idea here is that you learn to make money through other people's monies, that you just don't rely on other people's monies. That is not going to really help you. And that you develop a strong sense of confidence in yourself and integrity. Rahu here is trying trying to teach you to make money, not the easy way, not by other people's monies, not by selling drugs, not by selling your body, not by doing things that are easy and cheap to get a quick buck, but to really, really learn to work hard and to get that earning power in an integral way. That is what Rahu is really trying to teach here. Especially, you could be making money from partners or partnerships, collaborations, business partnerships, or marriage. There's also a trader in currencies. You could be very good at this. You could do very well with gems, jewelry, working with gems and gemstones, jewelry, gold, silver, or even any assets as well, and metals, and good with liquid assets overall. So Rahu here, if you were to study finance, if you were to study, perfection the financial system and learn how to use it for your best energy, then it could be very, very beneficial for you, and you could really make amazing money. Now, if Rahu is debilitated in a bad sign, badly aspected, or debilitated because of our own actions, then Rahu can be unfavorable. And so if it's going to be unfavorable, it can make you more devious. It can also make you where you're always complaining on a frequently basis. You're complaining about this, complaining about that, gossiping about this, gossiping about that, like using your words to complain about others, to judge others, using your speech for poisonous things in this way. Also having an estranged family. Your family may be weird, maybe different, maybe not like everybody else. But the idea here is that you don't reject your family and just like reject them completely. The idea is that, okay, you embrace it, because most probably your family is weird because of your aspect. So it's not just their fault. It's also the influence that your chart is doing on your family and the debilitated Rahu here. Also, poor studying skills, where you don't want to really study, where you don't really want to commit, where you don't really want to put the effort and the consistency. There might be a debilitation in being consistent and having integrity, saying like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it. So it needs to be enforced, this good studying skills here. Also, bad eating habits, as I mentioned, eating bad things, overconsumption of things that you're not supposed to eat, and overeating. Also any diseases around eating habits, from anorexia to bulimia, can show up here with Rahu in the second house. Also loses through deception or lack of mindfulness. Because of being deceptive can be one of the things where you may be doing from your past life with the 8th house. And what it's teaching you is that you're not going to do it in the shadows. You're not going to do it in a deceptive way. You're not going to do it in a way that is taboo and get your way. Like, you have the destiny that in this lifetime, you're meant to do it in the right way with integrity. Also, there could be some, you may speak ill of others. You may, be that person that talks bad about people behind their back when Rahu is unfavorable here. Also, speech problems can come up when you have Rahu in the second house, as well as ailments of the nose, throat, thyroid, mouth, lips, gums, and teeth. Okay, you can have facial complaints where you're just like, I don't like my face in this, I don't like my face in that, my face is not pretty like this, my face is not pretty like that. So Rahu here is also kind of affecting the look of your face, and also takes to smoking, drinking, and drugs very easily when Rahu is unfavorable in the second house. So if you're experiencing any of these things, then I highly suggest you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. That is going to help you to bring balance to your Rahu a lot more, and to bring some better energies and more of the favorable energies of Rahu. So those were your messages, people with Rahu in the second house. I really hope that helped. Love you guys so much. If you like it, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and also leave us in the comment. Let us know where your Rahu resides and how has it shown up for you in your life, so that we can all learn together here. Alrighty, thank you so much for being here. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one session with me in the description here below. Alrighty, those were your messages. And now we're going to be doing Rahu in the third. Welcome people who have Rahu in the third. And if you have Rahu in the third, this is actually a great placement for Rahu. This is one of the first great placements for Rahu. Rahu does very well in the third house. So that is some very, very good news. If you have Rahu in the third house, this is definitely a blessed placement, because here Rahu becomes an innovative determination. And when Rahu steps into the third house, you become extremely courageous. You have this ability to tap into powerful courage within your life. And your life is meant to be this life where you are going to really be, take your life in your own hands, and what you create is what you're going to make out of it. So even if you were born in the lowest parts of the world, in a very, very poor family, when you have Rahu in the third house, this is a self-made placement where you can become self-made by your own efforts and your own ability to be courageous enough to go there. So Rahu in the third house is definitely a blessed placement. Nonetheless, if you find any of the unfavorable things, I highly suggest that you check out of the remedy. So when Rahu is favorable in the third house, we are having a remarkable approach to activity. Okay, you activate activity. You want to do things. Rahu wants you to physically do things. It wants you to learn that skill. It wants you to learn to play that instrument. It wants you to write that book. Anything that requires a lot of effort from your part, and that a lot of people just don't do it because of their laziness, Rahu here pushes you to do it. It's great for anything that puts you out there, from social media to doing something that is very difficult, to learning an amazing skill, to writing a very long book, to anything that requires a lot of effort. Rahu here is really giving you immense power to go into it. Also makes their own way in life. You make your own way in life. You don't have to copy anybody. You, by your own innovation, by your own intellect, you can make your own way in life and get some amazing results because of this Rahu in the third house. You also have an interest in unique forms of communication and self-expression. So all types of self-expression, from writing, painting, anything that you do with your hands. You are very good at this. If you were an artist, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are somebody who anything with your hands are extremely powerful when Rahu's in the third house, as well as your mind is extremely powerful. And you like, using technology, using innovation could be very good for you to get your message out there, because one of the things about Rahu in the third is that you came to be a messenger. You have some sort of message that you came here to give to the world, because Ketu being in the ninth, it really gives you so much deep wisdom. These are the people that are just born with an innate moral compass. And because of this, because your innate wisdom within you, the Rahu here can really help you to put it out into the world and to actually bring that message. You're the best one to hear the wisdom from. The challenge here is that you are able to talk to the people of lower intelligence and raise them up to a higher intelligence. Also, you can become very powerful in self-expression naturally. A beautiful artist here, beautiful entrepreneur. You just have that power of handling many things at once and mastering something. So we have here amazing writers, amazing advertisers, amazing marketers. You have amazing salespeople. I mean, these people who have Rahu in the third can literally sell you anything, can sell you a glass of air and people will buy it. They really are very agile at sales. And also amazing actors, great theater people, thespians, very powerful musicians as well, because you're using the power of your hands and your fingers, very powerful painters, very powerful creators, innovators, inventors, anything that deals with moving your hands and making things with your hands. You have peculiar siblings, or you have a peculiar sibling situation where either there's like half brothers, half sisters, your siblings are different, they're kind of weird. It's a difficult situation, but Rahu here is making you see that, learning to balance your energy out with your siblings actually makes it better, and it actually gives you blessings. Working with your siblings would also be very powerful for you. Also, we have active energy, very active. You need to move your body. You need to be in constant movement. That could also make you another reason why it's great actors that come through here, or great dancers that can come through here, or great athletes, gymnasts that can come through here when we have a powerful third house in Rahu. Also, a successful risk taker. Yes, you are that courageous person that takes the risk, and some way, somehow you make it happen, especially if Rahu is positively aspected here for you. It can give you some amazing results to your risks. Also, unusual athletic abilities and interests as well. So very powerful energy here. Rahu is really taking you to a new level. Now, when Rahu's badly aspected, bad sign, or debilitated because of your own actions, you may be experiencing more of the unfavorable things, which are siblings are different, odd, weird, and they may have some sort of difficult relationship with you. Okay, so it could be very confusing. Now, putting effort into the wrong things or at the wrong time could also be showing up here when Rahu is badly aspected. Rahu badly aspected can also affect a lot of your mind, where if your mind is not in a happy place, in a positive place, in a motivational place, and you go into this dark place of negative thoughts and negative thinking, Rahu can really get you deep into obsessive thoughts, obsessive negative thinking, obsessive stories that are negative. So I really suggest for people who have Rahu in the third to definitely use a lot of writing, a lot of journaling. Is going to be fantastic for you to take control over this Rahunian energy, because it could really take over your mind if it's on an unfavorable energy. Also, there might be an energy where you take on a bizarre approach to things. Like now it's like too bizarre, and it's not allowing you to get the success that you want. Also, very lavish ideas, where your ideas may be a little bit too out there, to the point that it's impractical or impossible. Also, you could be having respiratory problems, asthma, issues with breathing. Rahu here is showing an unfavorable energy. Any ailments with the neck, problems with your neck, from posture to also any problems with your neck overall. Your shoulders as well. Any injuries to the shoulders, to the neck, and to the hands can also show up here when we have Rahu in the third house. And mental or nervous disorders. As I mentioned, you really have to have a very powerful, clean mind of positivity and joy, because if it goes dark, it goes really dark. And you may hurt yourself. You may get yourself into depressions, anxieties, and kind of worsen your mental health. So, and nervous disorders. So I also suggest not so much caffeine for you as well. And any skin diseases as well. So those are the unfavorable things. If you've had experienced any of these things with Rahu in the third house, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that is going to help you to bring some balance to them and to get more of the favorable energies of Rahu in the third house. Alrighty, those were your messages, and remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you take advantage and book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to find the link for it. Alrighty, those were your messages. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please let us know in the comments what is your Rahu placement, and tell us how has it shown up for you. And now we're going to be doing Rahu in the fourth. Welcome to anybody who has Rahu in the fourth house. This is going to be your prediction for Rahu in the fourth house. Now, when Rahu goes into the fourth house, this is a little bit of a difficult placement for Rahu, because now we're stepping into the house of happiness, the house of the heart, the house of the mother, and the house of family. This is something that you haven't discovered yet in this lifetime, what true happiness means. A lot of you guys may think that true happiness lies in being extremely successful, having your ambitions being fulfilled, getting to really high levels of status. But in reality, your soul may be really seeking something of a simpler life, and your soul is going to show you that the happiness, true happiness, doesn't lie in the achievements and the accomplishments and the great applause. That happiness truly lies in the more simple things of life, like having a happy home, having a beautiful family, being the person of a family, giving birth to children, gardening, cooking. Especially you guys, there's one thing about you guys, I've seen people who have Rahu in the fourth house, you guys cook amazing. You have like an amazing energy to cook. And if you have not gotten into cooking, I highly suggest that you do, because that is going to bring more sense of fulfillment, that you can nurture yourself and nurture others, because that is something that your soul hasn't discovered yet. How to nurture yourself truly, and not nurturing yourself because, oh, I worked really hard and I made $100 today, that I'm nurtured. No, that's not nurturing. Nurturing is something way more simpler than that, like eating a good meal that you cooked, finding comfort in your life, and, listening to your emotions, not over compartmentalizing your emotions, feeling your feelings, and having this sense of true home belonging and sense of fulfillment. People who have this Rahu in the 4th house could have had a very, very disruptive first beginnings of their life in their childhood. Especially the father, the mother could have brought a lot of pain to them, and so these people usually leave the home very quickly, very early on, to go and become successful and have achievements. And they might not even want to have a home. These are the people that sometimes live in offices because they just want to keep working. But the idea here is to become a master of homes, a master of your nurturing energies. You will do a lot better working from home. You will do amazing if you work with real estate, gardening, agriculture, restaurants, food. This will give you great fortune. So when we have Rahu in the 4th house, we have a shadowed feelings. The feelings get shadowed here. And so when it's favorable, the Rahu may give you liking for unconventional and unusual or foreign dress and home. So you may dress differently. You may have a unique home. You may want a very unique home. That's when it's favorable. And it gives you a nice home when you have a favorable Rahu here. Also, in the home decorations, you also decorate it in a very unique way that also the Rahu here is kind of bringing that energy. So when we have a favorable Rahu, you have a very beautiful, unique home that is for you and for you, for you and your family, where you can actually have a beautiful family. Family is going to be your greatest happiness in this lifetime, even though it sounds so simple. Becoming a housewife or becoming a father who provides for their family. These may not sound like the most glamorous and luxurious things, but it's actually what's going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness within your heart. Also, you gain through real estate. When Rahu is favorable here, you also gain from land, gain from buildings, hotels, cars, clothing, boats, any luxury items, and education. Okay, you have a unique mother and a unique family life. And you're an innovative educator. That is when Rahu is very favorable in the 4th house here. Now, when it is not, and also you become a great chef, as I mentioned. Very, very good with food. Very, very good with food. And you bring a lot of happiness and joy when you cook for others. And this really fulfills a lot of your heart deeply, deeply, deeply. Gardening as well and growing your own food is also something that can make you extremely joyful in the heart. Now, when Rahu is not favorable here, in detriment, in a negative sign, badly aspected, or is just not working well because of your own decisions in this lifetime, then you may be experiencing more of separation or misalignment with family. There is this, misalignment, separation with family, issues with your own family, kind of like, I don't want anything to do with my family. I never want to have a family because my family was so terrible. If you have any of these feelings, it's like, then create the home of your dreams. If your parents and your mom were so bad, then become the most amazing father and the most amazing mother that your children deserve. That is the best way to truly purify this instead of running away from it. Also, there might be an unfaithful, changeable. You could be unfaithful. You can be very changeable. You can be very unsettled and confused in your emotions. There might be this fear of feeling where you don't want to feel, where you don't want to sense, where you don't want to kind of be vulnerable in your heart. And so you kind of keep it very rigid, very, very cold, very stoic all the time. So these people can benefit from a good cry, like a good cry where you just feel all the feels. That could be very purifying for a Rahu in the 4th house naturally. Your education can get disturbed if Rahu is badly aspected or unfavorable in the 4th house. You can also have fearfulness of commitment, like fully committing to something or a person. And so you want it, but then you chicken out. Like, because the full commitment will mean get married, become a wife, become a husband, have children. Like, this full commitment is like, no. I have work to do. I'm still doing my job. I'm still trying to become successful. Like, there's a lot of these excuses that happens with the Rahu in the 4th house. There's also this energy of reclusiveness where you get kind of isolated. Also, lung and chest congestions can happen here with Rahu in the 4th house, as well as surgery on the chest or breasts. So very important to always be checking for breast cancer here with Rahu in the 4th house. And also heart problems and infertility can happen here. And they happen because we're not being connected enough to our heart. That's what Rahu wants to do. It wants you to connect to your heart, to the joy and the simplicity of your heart. So if you're experiencing any of these unfavorable situations with Rahu in the 4th, I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. Do the remedies at the beginning of the video. That is going to help you get more of the favorable energies of Rahu in the 4th house and to heal your heart deeply. Okay, so those were your messages, Rahu in the 4th. I hope that they help. Love you guys so much. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one consultation with me in the description here below. And those were your messages, my Rahu in the 4th. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and also let me know in the comments what is your Rahu placement and how has it shown up for you, so that we can all learn here together. Now we're going to be doing Rahu in the 5th house. Welcome to everybody who has a Rahu in the 5th house. This is going to be your summary for Rahu in the 5th house. Rahu in the 5th house gives us a little bit of mixed results here. So when Rahu comes into the 5th house, we are now entering into the shadow intellect here. This is the house of the intellect. And so Rahu, the demon, comes in here and it gives us the shadow intellect. So if we have Rahu favorable in the 5th house, then we're going to be experiencing things like an interest in spiritual topics, feeling very spiritually drawn to mantras. I would really suggest for you guys especially to try out the mantras, because mantra chanting is something that your soul has not experienced in this lifetime, and you can actually gain a lot of power and a lot of good energy and a lot of transformation through mantra chanting. So it would be very, very healthy for you. Here, Rahu is trying to really discover your speciality, because in many other lifetimes, you never allow yourself to be in this special energy. You've been overly detached about your desires, your passions, romance, and been more about like the collective, the humanity, what my friends, what other people, and not necessarily your own speciality. There's been this fear of actually stepping into your own speciality, what makes you special. There could be a fear of like, what if I sound arrogant? What if I sound prideful? Like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that is not liked, come off as a diva and things like this. But Rahu here wants you to explore your passion, wants you to explore romance, wants you to explore art, self-expression, your intellect. And it wants you to go deep into these things without having the fear of somebody else. These people usually can be extremely timid, especially when they're put on stage and the light, the spotlight is on them. But it could be extremely fearful, but then at the end, it could be something that is extremely exhilarating once they get the applause. They almost have a fear of how their heartbeat beats so fast when it's getting too excited. And there's like, oh no, this is bad. If I'm feeling too excited, then most probably I'm going to be disappointed. If I'm feeling too attached to this person, if I'm feeling too many big feelings for this person, I'm going to be disappointed. Or if I like, this art too much, I'm going to be disappointed. So it's better for me to just save the pain by detaching myself. So these people, their demise is that they can go into so much detachment that they kind of cop out of life, because they also are the type of people that they don't want to look for their passion. They don't want to go into a passion because they're afraid of the emotions and the enthusiasm that can come up. But at the same time, they a lot of people may be like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Like, you're good at writing, you're good at music, you're good at these things. Why don't you try them out? And they are almost so rebellious that they're just like, if somebody's trying to tell me what to do, like, I'm not going to do it. So everybody's telling me to be this, then I'm not going to do it. Nobody can get you to do anything, Rahu in the 5th house. Nobody. You have to kind of get yourself into the groove. But the thing is that sometimes you're waiting so much for the moment of inspiration. And even when the inspiration comes, you chickened out. And when the inspiration doesn't come, you're just like, okay, that's it. Maybe one day I'll know what I want to do. Maybe. And so there's so much detachment that is now detrimental. Rahu wants you to get passionate. Rahu wants you to like actually commit to something that you like to do and do it all the way. And don't be afraid of the hardships and the attachment that can bring. Yes, here Rahu wants to taste will, self-will. Like, I'm willing this into existence and I'm gonna freaking do it. This is what Rahu wants to taste here. So any spiritual mantras can really help you with this. Also, mystical chants can also be very attractive to you because this is the house of mantra. And performances. So these are my artists. You might be like, I don't even care about being famous. Sure. But you're amazing artist. There's so many artists that have this and they naturally just become famous fast. I forgot the name of this actor, the actor who plays Frankenstein, the creature in Frankenstein, the really tall guy. He like is Australian. He went to LA for like a little bit. He was living in a van and he was like, you know what? I'm going to go to like these auditions. Didn't stay for even more than a year. And he's like, this is my last audition. If I don't make it, then I don't make it. And boom, he landed the giant role. And now he's like massively famous. That's just one person. But many other people that just land. Johnny Cash has this. Like they just land fame quick because they're very talented. You guys are talented. When you find the things that you do like and you're passionate, you are very talented. And the performance is like, wow. And you're just a natural. You have that star, you know, when people say, oh, you have that star to be famous. These people have it. Interest in transcendental knowledge. So a lot of spirituality overall. Also attracted to foreign romances. Romance is a big thing for you. Understanding what romance is, because usually these people end up just being like the friend with benefits, or I ended up marrying my best friend because we've known each other for so long and we just kind of looked at each other one day and it's like, hey, we've been together for such a long time. Why don't we just get married? Well, okay, fine. Like, but there was no romance. There was no like chasing. There was no like, you know, romantic feelings. Like these things can make you a little bit paralyzed where you're just like, oh, I don't know how to enchant this person, how to be creative enough to like make them fall in love with me. And so you go through the friend route. So I encourage you to embrace romance, even though it makes your heart beat really fast and you're just like, oh my God, what if I get rejected? Oh my God, like I put myself in the line. Like the stakes are high. You know, this feeling of the stakes are high scares the crap out of you. But it's like, that's what your soul wants to experience. Like, what does it feel to be in a stakes that are high and win and get it and make it and kiss her and kiss him and you know, win the stock market. This is also the stock market. People who risk it and kind of go into these stakes are high, they can make a lot of money as well. There's also an energy of can take care of themselves. You know, when it's favorable, you can take care of yourself very strongly. You like unusual games. You like unusual self-expressions, unusual games to play, and you amusements as well, and very exceptional intellect overall. These people also have lived many lifetimes without having children. And so one thing that can really transform your life is having children. And I know that I'm saying this and a lot of people's like, I don't even want to have children. Yeah, that's what happens when you have Rahu here. But that would be an amazing thing for you to have children, to work with children, because children get you into this passionate nature naturally. And so you will have to kind of get out of this comfort zone of detachment and be playful in that way. So those are the favorable things with Rahu in the 5th. Now, if Rahu is badly aspected, it is in a difficult sign, it is debilitated, or if it's in just bad energy because of the actions that you've taken in this lifetime, then you can be having more of the unfavorable things, which is more of the energies of being deceptive, being confused, being very shy, as I mentioned, like too shy to show your talents and your ability to entertain, or your talents in sports. People in sports are also really fantastic with this Rahu here. So you're just like naturally musician, athlete, virtuosi, artist, and you might be like, but I'm not really that creative. It's because you haven't even tried. The moment that you try it, it's going to be like, whoa, you're really good naturally. Also very low self-esteem to kind of go and do your own thing, to kind of have your own passions, have your own hobbies, take them seriously, and you kind of just have your self-esteem just based on how many friends you have and how much friends you can be there for. But your friends actually don't show up as much as you wish that they would show up for you, but you are like that amazing friend that always shows up for them. So this kind of happens with the Rahu is negatively here. You're very, a lot of misunderstandings in romance, where it becomes very strong misunderstandings in romance, poor in speculation in business, also displeasure with the government. People who actually can become amazing politicians with this as well. So when it's in a good aspect, you can become an amazing politician. But when it's in a negative aspect, you're always dissatisfied with the government. You hate politics. You're always dissatisfied with these things, with the IRS, with, government things. And you kind of like hate it. But that's actually a sign of a debilitated Rahu here. Also problems with children. There could be, problems with children overall. So be very cautious with this. Maintain your Rahu strong. And also trouble with studies, where your studies get blocked. You get blocked tubes. You also blocked veins in the heart. Very unfavorable. And also arteries can also be blocked, as well as heart troubles and poor digestion. So if you're experiencing any of these things and Rahu here, with Rahu, then I highly suggest that you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that is definitely going to help you to boost the energy of Rahu in a more positive way and to get more of the favorable energies of Rahu for you. Also understand that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one consultation with me in the description here below if any of these things are resonating with you. And those were your messages, my beautiful people with Rahu in the 5th house. I hope that they help. Love you guys so much. And now we're going to be doing Rahu in the 6th. Welcome. If you have Rahu in the 6th house, then this is actually a very favorable placement for Rahu. Rahu actually enjoys being in the 6th house a lot, because Rahu in the 6th house can make you really overcome your enemies, your diseases. It really pushes you to work. It pushes you to fight, and it pushes you to become a great warrior in your life, and it focuses on the service of life. But you really have to work at this, okay? It's not just going to come immediately, because the Ketu in the 12th house could be very strong, and the one demise that you have is laziness. Yes, I'm sure you've heard this all your life, but I'm confirming it. Yes, that's the biggest thing. Too lazy, too complacent, too like, what's the point of doing anything? And not having a good schedule. These are the things that ruined the Rahu in the 6th house. If you're not having a schedule, if you're not having a to-do list, if you're just kind of going with the flow every single day, let's see how I feel, and you're in this laziness, that's really, really bad. And so that has to come first, so that Rahu can really give you some amazing results in the 6th house, because Rahu in the 6th house can make you a very clever warrior. Really, really clever warrior. So when Rahu's favorable here, you can think of creative solutions to any problem. Very creative solutions. That is one of your superpowers. Like, any problem arises and you creatively know how to fix it. You creatively know how to do it. And you just don't like imagine it, like you do it. You actually fix it physically. You physically do it. This is the power, because you may have a lot of spiritual power, a lot of power of the invisible, but your challenge is, how do you take all that ethereal energy into something physical, into something for real, into something tangible? And that could also be the thing that frustrates you, is like, I have all these great ideas, but how do I make this tangible? That is what Rahu wants to create within you. So you have an amazing way to create some amazing solutions to any problem. Also, you have warrior energies. You would really benefit to go to the army. And I'm sure you'll be like, oh, hell no, I'm never going to go to the army. But anything that makes you very disciplined, like this. I have to wake up early. I have to work out. I have to follow the rules. I have to not be lazy. I have to show up. I have to be of service. These trainings for you are fantastic, and they will definitely strengthen your Rahu energy, because Rahu here wants to be a warrior. And warriors are not laying around doing nothing. Warriors are defending and serving and doing their thing, and they're impeccable with their cleanliness, impeccable with their timing, impeccable with their schedules. Like, they are on top of their discipline. And this is how Rahu really becomes very powerful. Also, you meet opposition with courage and determination when Rahu's strong here. And when Rahu's strong here, no enemy can get you. No enemy can get you. You are very powerful. And the enemies, eventually you beat them for sure. You attract a lot of enemies, but you also eventually beat them as well. Also, you come out ahead in the end, as I mentioned. You end up being the winner at the end. Also, you provide exceptional service. So if it's not military, anything of service, anything where you're putting yourself at service. And this could also be something where you're just like, nah, I don't really want to be like the service person. But this is where your Rahu really thrives. It wants to be of service to the poor, service to the ones who are in need, service to the seniors, service to the animals, service to the ones who cannot help themselves. Any service job, any job where you are being of service to others. And this may sound like, oh my gosh, that's so much work. Like, isn't there a faster way or an easier way? Yes, you may want to imagine like a manifestation that you just think about it and then everything comes to light, but that's not your karma in this lifetime. In this lifetime, you really do have to grind and hustle. And that might be the thing that scares you a lot, but the grinding and the hustle is where you're going to find a lot of happiness and joy, but it's the thing that's also scares you. So once you overcome that, that's going to be really, really good. Also uses unusual medical and healing approaches. There is this healing energy about you. And what I have seen with Rahu in the 6 people is that you also may bewilder your doctors when you go and you're like, oh, I have something, I feel something, but your doctors can't seem to pinpoint it. So this is why you do go into these different types of healings, into these unique types of healings. Also using any health that is holistic, natural. I will stay away from synthetic medicines, pharmaceuticals, and all of these things will actually weaken your Rahu even more. And I would also suggest having a vegetarian diet with you, because this is also the house of nutrition and the house of the digestive system. So not being in excess of alcohol, sugars, or meats could be really, really good for you. And stepping more into a more sattvic food could be fantastic. Also, you have the stamina and the intellectual resources to succeed. So it can make you quite successful. These are my lawyers. These are my judges. These are my doctors. These are my healers. These are the people of service that we have in the world. And if you decide to take this, my soldiers, if you decide to take a route on these things, you would actually be extremely successful. But again, you have to break on through this laziness and this sort of complacency and this adversity to working hard or to being of service. Now, when Rahu is unfavorable in the 6th house, is weak or is badly aspected, or it's just unfavorable because of our own actions, then we can have other results like having a very fiery temperament. You cannot control your temperament, and there's a lot of explosiveness and reactivity in your temperament. There could also be a very competitive energy where you're just always in this sort of competitive energy and this defensive energy, and it's kind of impossible to talk to you. Also very adversarial, where you're just like always going on the contrary of things. Always going on the contrary of things. Even when people are trying to give you some good advice, show you the way, you're like, no, I'm doing the contrary. I'm going to do the contrary. Like this contrary nature that at the end doesn't even serve you. And you're just using that so that you can stay in your very complacent sort of not exerting too much energy environment, which is your demise. And also we have a quick to picking up a fight. Okay, when it's this balance here, you don't know how to pick your fights correctly, and you're just always kind of fighting all the time. Also not very trustworthy, You may not follow through with your promises. You may not follow through with your what you say that you're going to do. And this again debilitates your image and also debilitates your self-esteem again and again and again. There could also be this energy of smoking, drinking, and drug problems to reduce stress. You're using it to reduce stress or as an excuse because life is so hard, because life is so intense. And in reality, the reason why life becomes hard is because you procrastinate so much. So next thing you know, you're just like, oh my God, everything piled up. And because you have this habit of like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it later. And then when everything really gets piled up and the pressure becomes more real and becomes more strong, you don't really go into this warrior mode, but you go into this like, oh, I'm going to have to drink because I'm so stressed. I'm going to have to take drugs because I'm so stressed. Life is so stressful. Life is so intense. So it kind of goes into these energies. Also, pets get sick. Your pets get sick very easily when Rahu's debilitated in the 6th house. Also, problems with mother's relatives, especially your aunts and uncles, can show up here. You may have digestive problems, digestive issues, as well as inflammatory diseases that are hard to diagnose naturally. So these are some of the unfavorable things that can happen when Rahu is in the 6th house. If you're experiencing any of these things or feel connected to anything that I have said, then I highly suggest that you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video that can really help you and bring in some balance to the Rahu energy here. And those were your messages. And if you would like to have a specific reading for you, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one session with me where we can go deeper into your chart. And that is in the description here below. That is for you, Rahu and the 6 people. I really hope that they help. Love you guys so much. And if you like it, make sure to give me a like and a hype and let me know in the comments where your Rahu placement is and how has shown up for you so that we can all learn together. Now we're going to be doing Rahu in the 7th house. Welcome to anybody who has Rahu in the 7th house. If you have Rahu in the 7th house, this is for you. Rahu in the 7th house is a little bit of a mixed result placement here. Rahu goes into the house of marriage, commitments, and relationships. And what happens here is that your soul has not experienced how to share itself. You have lived many lifetimes dying alone, being hyper independent, and not really committing to a relationship. And so this has made you quite the assertive person. It has made you quite the self-sufficient person, but to the point that it's almost scary to ever be dependent or on others, or to ever trust others, or to ever really come into a relationship with others. However, one of your biggest successes in life is going to be finding the love of your life and getting married. People who have this have a big destiny of getting married. And this could be something that you naturally are adverse to, where you're just like, I don't want to get married. And you take on 50% of divorces. Like, why the hell would I get married? And like, you kind of take all these little excuses to excuse yourself from actually being married. But these people, when they do get married, a lot of blessings come into their life. It's almost like you will never tap into the full potential of your chart until you get married. And the idea here is that the marriage is not just teaching you about commitment, but it's also teaching you to not be scared of sharing yourself. There could be this fear of like, oh, what if I lose myself in the relationship and then I can never be myself again? This is an illusion. In reality, there is a part of you that wants to know how it feels to share the beautiful, amazing individual that you are with somebody else. And you don't have to be scared of like, what if I lose my independence? Independence in itself is quite the illusion. Nobody here is independent. We're all dependent on God. So it's kind of overcoming these things for you. Now, when we have Rahu in the 7th house, we have here the shadow feelings. We actually have here the energies of a foreign partnerships. So there is a very deep connection to foreign people, to foreign relationships. You would do a lot better if you actually married a foreign person in your life. Here, when Rahu is favorable in the 7th house, we can get benefits from non-traditional, unusual, or foreign partnerships. You do very well with this. You are learning to become a team player. You are learning to become diplomatic. You are learning to become part of a team, of a partnership, either in business or in love. Very, very important. Also, partner is out of the ordinary. Your partner is different. Your partner is weird. Your partner can be quite Rahubian, where their excess excess eating, excess consumption, or very intense, very warrior-like, very obsessive. These are some of the qualities that your partner can actually have. Also, there could be foreign as well. There's also or was met while traveling. You can also meet them while you were traveling. So it's a big destiny with being with a foreign partner who's unique, who's different, and who's not like something that you've never been with before. A partner works or lives far from home as well. So sometimes it can happen that you prefer to have a long distance relationship so that you can have a good partnership overall. But the idea here is that when Rahu is favorable, you definitely, go into a marriage, you definitely go into a deeper relationship, you definitely end up having a deeper love with someone, and you end up, finding that the greatest success that you ever had in life was that you actually found the love of your life and that you got married, for as simple as that may be. Now, when Rahu is not favorable in the 7th house, it can give you different results where you are drawn to foreign and unusual, even bizarre relationships. Now we're getting into like the bizarre relationships. So trying to control how weird or different or bizarre you want your relationships to be. Partner becomes very deceptive, very untrustworthy, not choosing your partners correctly because they're very shadowy and illusionary. So again, this could also create obsessions. So really finding, taking your time in relationships. When you meet somebody, at least 3 moon cycles before you actually have sex with them, so that you can truly see what this person's all about, what their attitude's all about, and we're not getting caught up in the hijack of pheromones and emotions. Also, there could be confusion or secrets in relationships that you or your partner do. So again, we need to purify the relationship, having a more spiritual connected relationship, devotional connected relationship, that the relationship is not just in the basis of partying and obsession and consumption, because we can fall into this toxicity very, very easy. So here, if you don't want to have so much of the toxicity, then it would be very, very good for you to have a relationship where it's more in the basis of spirituality and connecting spiritually with somebody else and being of service to God. That could be a perfect way to actually have more balance. If not, there is deception, there is extramarital affairs, there is confusion when this Rahu is badly aspected or unfavorable in the 7th house. This could also give an energy where there could be a lot of confusion or secrets in the relationship, and it gets a dysfunctional partner of lower wealth and health. So again, choosing wisely, that you're not choosing a person of lower wealth, that you're not choosing a person of lower health. It would bring issues, it would bring problems kind of naturally. And it is showing a sort of unfavorable energy that Rahu has here for your 7th house. Also, loses through mistakes or deception in contracts. Also have to be very cautious of the contracts that you sign, the people that you do business with, making sure that things are legit, clear, not illusion. Nothing is being kind of done underhanded, especially when it comes from you, because then that could really bring a lot of problems and issues in contracts and deceptions. Also subject to divorce or separation that could happen when Rahu is debilitated in the 7th house. It could lead to separation and it could lead to divorce. And also venereal diseases and reproductive problems can show up here when Rahu is unfavorable in the 7th house. So the main thing here is to really understand and have a better energy with relationships, mastering relationships, creating healthy relationships for yourself. And the goal here is to have a healthy relationship and to step away from any toxicity in love and relationships. And when you find this, really, truly, truly cherish it and protect it and be responsible for it, because by the end of your life, you will find a lot of joy and happiness that can come from this. So that is your messages. And if you have experienced any of these things with Rahu in the 7th house, then I highly suggest that you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. That is going to help you to get more of the favorable energies of this Rahu in the 7th house. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one session with me in the description here below. So that is for you, Rahu in the 7th. I hope that they help. Love you guys so much. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And also make sure to leave me in the comments your Rahu placement and how has it shown up for you, so that we can learn more here all together. That is for you. So now we're going to be doing our Rahu in the 8th. Welcome. If you have Rahu in the 8th house, then this is for you. Rahu in the 8th house is a difficult placement. I will be very honest with you. This is a house of the unexpected. And when Rahu comes here, we are bound to have a life of a lot of unexpected events. And the reason why is because you're a very solid person, okay? So you can handle this. But there has been a lot of superficiality in past lives. And so in this lifetime, life wants you to become more vulnerable. Life wants you to actually go deep within your emotions, to actually understand more about spirituality and mysticism. You have an open sort of sixth sense to psychic abilities that not everybody else has. And this might scare you sometimes, where you're just like, okay, I'm hearing things that not everybody else is hearing, or I'm seeing things that not everybody else is seeing. Let me ignore that. And in reality, this is coming up for you because you have this sort of open channel where ghosts and where other invisible entities can communicate with you, and they know that they can communicate with you. And so you have this very powerful psychic ability that may make you uncomfortable sometimes. You're just like, this is an uncomfortable feeling, or this makes me feel vulnerable. At the same time, people just open up to you like a book, and you're just like, lady, I don't even know you. Why are you telling me your whole life story? Like, why? Because aside from the fact that you have this open channel, you also have this very powerful healer ability. There's a healer in you. And people know, like they just subconsciously know that they can come to you, and in your aura, they feel healed. And so they tell you their traumas, they tell you their intense life, they tell you all the intense things that have happened in their life. And this sometimes is like scary, but you are such a solid person because your Ketu's in the 2nd house that you can handle this. You don't flinch, you don't get scared. Now, one thing that I will say with this placement is you really have come to work on your shadows, and you have come to get rid of so many habits. You get stuck in habits where you're just like, I do the same thing every single day. I'm working every single day. I'm obsessive trying to get a lot of money in my life. But then it's like you get stuck in this habitual life where I'm doing habit over habit over habit over habit, where I've been eating the same thing for years, doing the same thing for years, doing the same routine for years. And there's a part of it that makes you feel safe, but another part of it that makes you feel trapped. And so your destiny really lies in exploring the unknown and exploring transformation and exploring change. But all of this requires a vulnerable part that you may run away from. So Rahu, when it comes into the 8th house, this is a destiny towards the unknown that naturally steps in. And when we have a favorable Rahu in the 8th house, we have the capacity to investigate and understand sublime knowledge. So you could do very well reading about the Vedas, reading about psychology, reading about mysticism, reading about the occult. These are my conspiracy theories. You guys love all this taboo knowledge and secret knowledge and things that nobody knows about. And the Rahu here becomes a powerful researcher that really wants to know more and more and more about the secrets of life that not everybody else knows. Also, there is an interest in the uncovering of secrets, of being a detective, being a researcher, and a very good diagnostic in skills. You could be a fantastic detective, a fantastic psychologist, psychiatrist. You just know how to tap into the mystery, and you just like find out the things that not everybody knows, the things that not everybody knows how to express. You are really good at finding the mysteries and finding the answers of hidden things that not everybody else can have. So any of these sort of professions for you will be amazing, because then you would really be channeling into something wonderful for you. Also, there's an interest in very good diagnostic skills, very unconventional healer. There could be a healer in you where maybe you are a great psychic, great tarot reader, great astrologer. Actually, Rahu here wants you to follow astrology. Some of you guys may not even believe in astrology, but Rahu here is like, if you follow the astrological placements, the astrological transits, the astrology on a daily basis, you're going to get better results than if you don't. So tapping into that sort of connection with the mysticism can be fantastic for you. Also, there could be a very powerful healer, Reiki healer, spiritual psychic healer, very unique healer. You know, you have these powers, these abilities to heal in deep ways that not everybody else can heal. Like there's like psychic surgeries and things like that. Like you are that person that can master these things and heal in ways that not everybody else can heal, and kind of like perform those sort of miracles that not everybody else can perform. When Rahu is strong here, it also gives you you can purify yourself for life extensions and resistance to disease. So if Rahu's strong here, you can kind of extend your longevity, extend your lifetime, and become really good at resisting any diseases, problems. Maybe some of you guys have gone through a lot of life and death experiences, near-death experiences. And these things happen because you have gotten so stuck in your habits that life literally has to send you a near-death experience so that you can be like, whoa, okay, there's more to life than just me doing my same routine every single day and just worrying about money. Like this is really transforming you to go deeper into the spirituality of life and to allow yourself to transform. If you naturally approach transformation through mystical topics, through tantra, through spirituality, through astrology, through occult mysticism, then you won't have so many sudden events. But if you don't, then life has to really throw you this curveball so that you can experience the transformation. For how scary it is, your soul really wants to experience this. And that's why it's a little difficult of a placement. Also, when it's strong, you actually have... you're very sexually energetic. There could have been a lot of resistance to sexuality in the past where you could have felt like it was very taboo, or you had a lot of blockages with sexuality. And so in this lifetime, there's a lot of discovery around sexuality. What is sexuality? What is this vulnerability? What is stepping into deep, vulnerable energies with somebody else? It wants you to really go into these topics, as well as having a very strong gains of money through other support and goodwill. So this can bring you money from wills, from legacies, from insurance, from inheritances. You came to work other people's monies by using loans and credits. And actually, this might be something that scares you, like using other people's monies. Like you are the type of person that wants to pay it all cash. But in reality, Rahu here is saying you don't have to make all that money. Like you use and work other people's monies and you will do a lot better. So you actually have the ability to make people money. If people were to invest in you, or you are some sort of financial advisor, or you are some sort of person that manages portfolios for finance, you actually make them money. You have that ability to make others money. And you know how to not abuse your power and how to be fair with everybody and everything when Rahu's strong in here. Also, there could be a lot of inheritance that come here for you. So, you know, you came to share. You came to share your money, and you came to also, experience other people's monies at the same time. So open yourself to this. Now, when Rahu is debilitated in the 8th house, and I do suggest that you do the remedies overall if it's debilitated or not, because it's just a difficult placement. Rahu may give you different results here where you're becoming doubtful, disturbed, deceptive. You take money with little or no capacity to repay it. It makes you very fearful, where you start let's say you start learning about a conspiracy, or you start learning about some sort of occult knowledge, and now it's kind of getting to your head, and now you're just like, oh my God, they're watching me, oh my God, the phone's listening to me, and like you go into this sort of paranoia, and then the fears become more fearful, and then more fear and more fear and more fear. So this is when Saturn is debilitated. Rahu is debilitated. We also may not be able to pay back what we take, or any loans that we take. So be careful with that. Also over aroused to the point that now you're like a sexual fiend, not being able to control your sexuality, not being able to control your sexual impulses, not being able to control your obsession with sex. It can make you easily addicted to porn and easily addicted to any sort of perversions when Rahu's in the 8th here debilitated. It could be secret sexual dysfunctions or perversions, as I mentioned. Also, body is filled with toxins, where these people can fall into drug abuse, alcohol abuse, addictions very easily, diseases very easily. Because of this, we're going into this addictions. So be careful with this. If you are having any of this, I highly suggest, take some help, because it's just going to make Rahu worse and worse and worse when we stay in this sort of attitude. There's a lot of diseases that are difficult to diagnose when Rahu is in the 8th debilitated. Also, there could bring urinary or eliminatory ailments, problems in the sexual organs, problems in the elimination organs, like the bladder and the intestinal and anal and all these things. And also diseases that are very difficult to diagnose in that. And it could give you also rare diseases, STDs, sexual transmitted diseases as well. So be very cautious with this Rahu in the 8th. Also, blood or glandular impurities, skin rashes, burns or discoloration, and allergies. So if you're experiencing any of these negative aspects of Rahu in the 8th, then I highly suggest that you go do the remedies at the beginning of the video. That is definitely going to help you to boost your more positive energies of Rahu in this placement. And also remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one session with me in the description here below, especially for you to understand your chart very well, can really heal your Rahu. So definitely book one with me. And those were your messages. So if you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and let me know in the comments how this resonates with you and what is your Rahu placement. And now we're going to be doing Rahu in the 9th house. When you have Rahu in the 9th house, this is a very powerful placement that is trying to take you to have a encounter with the divine. So it shows that in a past life, you were definitely somebody who was atheist, who never believed in God, very scientific oriented, very effort oriented, not believing in any mercy. God's not going to come down and help me. This is all like my own efforts. And if it's not by my own efforts, then I'm never going to get there. And so in this lifetime, your soul is really seeking mercy. Your soul is really seeking grace. Your soul is really seeking to have a deeper connection with the divine, and to finally release any mental issues and mental problems and mental anxieties, because that's this axis. The axis of the 3rd and the 9th house is the axis of the knowledge and the mind, the lower mind and the higher mind. And so when we live in the lower mind without God, without divinity, then the mind is always in this anxious energy, in this doubtful energy, in this energy of non-believing, of lack of faith. And so Rahu here wants to experience this deeper faith. It wants to experience what does it feel to believe. And that is the biggest challenge when we have Rahu in the 9th. So here we have an innovation in the higher knowledge as well. When you have a strong Rahu in the 9th house, we have an energy that thinks in ingenious ways. You have a very powerful mind to think in very different ways, not like everybody else. You're capable of a rare feed of spiritual and intellectual thinking, really learning about God, philosophy, theology, especially stepping into a higher energy of principles. Because with the atheistic mind from the past, this shows that you were like, okay, well, God doesn't exist. God's not here to watch me do what I'm going to do. Now the game is don't get caught. As long as I don't get caught, I don't get in trouble. But the idea here is that no matter what you do, God is always watching. And so when we start actually going deeper into God, deeper into higher knowledge, deeper into a connection with the divine, then Rahu really is becoming satisfied and finally having what it's truly seeking, which is a more powerful and deeper spiritual and intellectual thinking. You also get a siddha. You can get a powerful siddha, a powerful spiritual power, where you do follow a path, a philosophical path. You train yourself, you follow moralistic principles, you follow your guru. The one thing here is that you definitely have to be very, very respectful towards your guru, because a Rahu in the 9th can make you disrespect your teachers and disrespect God and disrespect higher knowledge. So when you do follow what guru tells you, then you actually can become a siddha. You can actually end up having some sort of spiritual power here that you can perfection. Also, comfortable with intangible realities. When Rahu is powerful in the 9th house, you're comfortable with intangible realities that don't necessarily have to be shown in material effort or material money. You take unusual approaches in law, in education, and in philosophy. You have a unique perspective in all these things, and you kind of become a trailblazer to new pathways in law, education, and philosophy. So it has this uniqueness about you. When Rahu is strong, it also gives you education in foreign lands. This is actually fantastic for you. Rahu wants you to travel. Rahu wants you to see other worlds. Rahu wants you to get out of your comfort zone and your, hometown where you live all the time. So Rahu here wants you to truly travel. If you did anything with travel, if you did anything with traveling, with foreign affairs, with traveling agencies, anything like this will be fantastic for you, because when you travel, your mind gets open to many possibilities. This shows a strong Rahu in the 9th. Also, you publish esoteric knowledge. You could be a great publisher of esoteric knowledge, of different thoughts, of different beliefs, of unique ways of seeing philosophy, education, and law. So very, very good for writers, very, very good for mystical writers, and also very exotic travel to exotic places. You love this. You love to travel to exotic places. You love to travel to exotic lands, exotic cultures, different types of cultures. All of these things truly fulfill you deep inside. Now, when Rahu is unfavorable, because it's badly aspected in a difficult sign, or because of our own actions that we created a negative Rahu, then we can start having more of misunderstandings, with confusion with authorities. Then we're always fighting with guru, we're fighting with father, we're fighting with teachers, we're fighting with the boss. We always have this sort of animosity with our higher authorities. That shows a Rahu debilitated in the 9th house. Also, schemer. You become a schemer, because with the Ketu in the 3rd house, as I mentioned, it's this energy of like you're too witty for your own good, and you always kind of find some pathway of making things easier, or like, I'm gonna outwit this situation. And so you become a con artist or a schemer, where you are cutting corners in certain ways, and you're not following principles, and you're not following the right things to do and the moralistic path, because you feel like you can get away with it and nobody's watching you. And so then you become a schemer. So that's when it's like negative energies in Rahu in the 9th house. Also, you can become a fugitive, an outsider. You can also act holier than you really are. That is something to be careful with. It can make you a hypocrite in the actual path of righteousness. Also, very desperado, very desperate to get things immediately, very anxious, very restless, not finding mental peace, not finding faith, not finding deeper connection, trusting divine timing. This could also show a Rahu debilitated in the 9th house. Also, keeps their bizarre philosophies private at first. So you don't want to share, you don't want to step into teaching, you don't want to step into sharing your unique perspective, or you gatekeep your knowledge, you gatekeep your wisdom from others. That's also a debilitated Rahu in the 9th. Also, liver ailments can happen here if Rahu is debilitated. Hearing problems as well. Hip and scrollatic dysfunctions with your sacrum and with your hips, and also joint trouble. So you may have like a problem in your articulations and in your joints. So this is some of the things that Rahu may show up when it's unfavorable. If these are any of the things that you have experienced or any of these negative results, then I highly suggest that you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that is going to help you to balance out this Rahunian energy so that you can actually have more of the favorable energies of Rahu in your chart. So that is for you, my beautiful Rahu in the 9th people. I hope that helped. Thank you so much for being here. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me if any of these things have resonated with you, because each chart is different and unique in its own way. This is just a general reading. You can book one in the description here below. And that is for you, Rahu in the 9th. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And also leave me in the comments what is your Rahu placement and how has it shown up for you. Now we're going to be doing our beautiful Rahu in the 10th house. Rahu in the 10th house is actually a great placement. Rahu here can really express its ambitions in the highest form. Rahu here can really reach some high statuses and high levels of work and high levels of profession, which makes Rahu very, very, very happy. So having this Rahu in the 10th house is definitely going to give you the power to rise in life and to rise in status. Now, the only thing that can hold you back from not getting the results of Rahu here is being too attached to your comfort zone, staying in your house too much, and being too attached to your mother. That is going to be the only things that are going to impede you from really reaching high heights in your profession and in your career. So here, what we have is an unusual occupation that usually brings when Rahu's in the 10th house. Here, when Rahu is successful and it's favorable for you, you can get great success in foreign undertakings, especially working with foreign affairs or anything that kind of puts you in the global scope. So this can make you very successful in these ventures. It could also give you great energy for activities associated with toxins. So if you were to have a business with pharmaceuticals, or have a business with toxins, or have a business with using chemicals in a better way, then Rahu here can give you great accomplishment. Also, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and any exotic energy like nuclear energy, like turbine energy, also technology, innovation, AI. All of these things can really help you also take your energy to a whole new level, because you're going to be having like a Rahunian success here in your 10th house of profession. So using any of these things can really help you to succeed and get to a new level. Also, waste removal. We're working with anything that helps to remove toxins and remove waste, creating something or a business that helps to remove toxicity or waste can also be very powerful with Rahu in the 10th house. We also have, you do like unusual, secret, or confidential work. Here, your work is different. You have a unique way to go about your work. Your work is not like common thing for everybody. So embrace having a unique path, embrace having a unique career that is very different from everybody, that is not the typical profession, that is not the typical career, because Rahu here will make you successful in these foreign, exotic, unusual careers. Also, when Rahu is favorable here, it makes you a very hard worker, especially if you don't have the attachment so much of the home. You really have to be stripped away from the comfort of your home. And I would really suggest for you to not work from home. You do a lot better when you get out of the house. When you get out of the house, a lot of these opportunities come to you very easily. But the comfort of your home becomes your jail. The comfort of your family becomes your jail. Do not let your family become an excuse for you to not be successful. It's like, oh, I can't really, leave my home because my mom is sick, or I can't really go and do my profession because my family needs me. This, I know, may not sound very orthodox. I know that we're supposed to help our family. We're supposed to be there for our loved ones. But your karma with this Rahu in the 10th house tricks you. It's like it puts you in this position, but you're meant to kind of renounce it, and it makes and you would actually help your mother, your sick mother, more if you get out there, make a name for yourself, and actually become successful in something, than if you were to stay just secluded in the home trying to help her in that way. That's the trick here. Also, it gives you a very powerful energy for being a hard worker, for career in finances, career in high statuses of career, especially when you really just go for your career outside of the home. Your career can really rise up to the top very, very fast. There's finances that grow over time here as well. Your finances and your career grow over time. So it's a hard working placement where you're meant to keep working hard, and not, just stop or just like try to keep it easy. Like you came to kind of work hard overall and make a name for yourself. Also lives in remote and distant lands, because it takes you away from your homeland, and it takes you away from your motherland, and it takes you away from your family and your mother. If this has not happened yet, I would really suggest for you to allow this for it to happen, because you will be extremely successful outside of your home for sure. Now, when Rahu is unfavorable in the 10th house, and it doesn't, it's badly aspected, it's in a negative sign, it's in a difficult sign, and it's in bad energy because of your own personal actions, then you can also experience some of the unfavorable things, like living in the shadow of others' success and reputation, where you're not making the name for yourself, you're not taking the leadership, and you're not trailblazing your own path. Also confused about life purpose. You might always be feeling this illusion of life purpose, confused about your life purpose, confused about what is it that you're meant to be doing when Rahu is debilitated here. Also, family problems can rise, and that's the things that keep you away from actually becoming successful, and for actually you going all the way in your career and profession. Also, it can give a weird car troubles. So, maintaining a nice car, having a good car, is actually very beneficial for you, succeeding. Like don't drive a raggedy car. If your car has troubles, like get a new car, even if it's like, oh my gosh, but then I have to work harder. Do it. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be better for your Rahu in that way. Also, there's an energy of being underpaid here, not asking really for what you deserve when it comes to your finances, not asking for what you deserve when it comes to abundance and prosperity in your profession. This could be a debilitated Rahu in the 10th house. Also, lack of respect or understanding from others can happen easily here, as well as devious energies. You don't finish things. You have to be very cautious with this, not finishing your projects, not finish what you started, abandoning things halfway through it. All of this makes Rahu even worse, and it gives you worse results as well. Also, having this energy of unscrupulous schemes, like trying to find schemy ways of getting to the top quicker and faster with less effort, with less hard working. Accept that you're meant to work really hard, and accept that the success is not going to come overnight. The more you accept this, the more successful you will be than trying to just find the easy way out and the quick way out and the overnight success. Also, deluded, very naive. There might be this naiveness about you, this fear of really stepping into adulthood can happen here with Rahu in the 10th house. There's also a father is like a stranger to you. Father's kind of foreign to you. But you're meant to embrace more of your father's lessons, what father wants to teach you, what father would like for you to do. That's when Rahu can become stronger. Also, if Rahu is debilitated here, it can give you knee problems with your knees, stagnant body, very rigid body, joint pain and nervousness, as well as dry skin and wrinkles. So it needs a lot of hydration, balancing out the vata within you, very, very important to try to maintain this Rahu energy in a more balanced energy. Now, if you're experiencing any of these negative side effects, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. The remedies are going to help you to balance out this Rahunian energy so that you get more of the favorable energies of Rahu in the 10th house, because it can be a very nice aspect for you. And that is for you, my beautiful Rahu in the 10th house people. I really hope that helped. Love you guys so much. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like me to check out your chart and if you resonate with anything that I have mentioned, then definitely get a one-on-one consultation with me in the description here below, where you will be able to understand these things a lot more. Now, we're going to be doing, if you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and also make sure to leave me in the comments what is your Rahu placement and how has it turned out for you, so that we can all learn together. Now, we're going to be doing Rahu in the 11th house. Welcome to anybody who has Rahu in the 11th house. If you have Rahu in the 11th house, this is actually a great placement for Rahu. Rahu does very well in the 11th house because it is the house of gains, of friendship, and it is the house of authenticity. So here, Rahu can really exercise its power to get as much gains as possible and collaborations as possible. There's a destiny here with understanding how to connect with others, how to make friendships with others, and how to collaborate with others. So when we have Rahu in the 11th house, we have an innovative profits and opportunities that come into your life. When Rahu is favorable here, we have the ability to be shrewd at cash flow management. So you become very good at how to manage your cash flow, how to manage your money, how to manage the way that the money is coming to you and not spending it excessively. Also, when Rahu's strong here, we get benefits from friends, especially foreign friends. That is the type of friends that your Rahu really wants you to have. Foreign friends, unique friends, different friends, friends from other foreign lands, friends that are very different from you. And Rahu here helps you to become like that community person, that person that came to be part of communities, came to be part of friendships, came to be part of big groups, large groups of people working together in collaboration, learning how to share the spotlight with others. When we are able to do these things, then Rahu really gives you amazing results when it's in the 11th house. There's also a lot of success with items that are related to chemicals, toxins, pharmaceuticals, purification technologies, innovations, or anything that is going to help the world in a humanitarian way. So any of these things can give you great success deep down inside, and it can give you some good gains, as well as you get unusual opportunities. So the opportunities come because you are sociable, because you put yourself out there, because you are making friends, because you are connecting with others. This is how these unusual opportunities come into your life. They do not come because you're isolating yourself. And that is the trick here, because with your Ketu in the 5th house, there could be a sort of fear of rejection, where you decide to reject others before others reject you, where there's this sort of isolation from others, where there's sort of like, I do everything by myself, I'm the one-man show. And Rahu can really thrive here if you release that, and if you're able to step more into like, you know what, I want to work with others, I want to collaborate with others, I want to come together with others, and I want others to also have the spotlight. I alone don't need to have the spotlight all the time. And the thing here, it also shows that you've never understood what true friendship lies in past lives. And so in this lifetime, it is about learning how to have more of this friendship energy and how to become a great social butterfly, not because you seem like you have everything together, but because you embrace your uniqueness. So it is about releasing pretenses and releasing arrogance and releasing ego and stepping more into this authentic energy, which also it's about releasing any sort of attachments, and especially pride. The more you release pride, the more you're able to actually connect with other people and friends as well. And these friendships will bring you more gains and collaborations and success in an easier way, where you don't have to do it all alone. Also, with Rahu in the 11th house, when it's strong, you're able to also get, you develop remarkable strategies and philosophies naturally that also are able to bring big groups of people who are going to follow you and who are going to be very interested in what you represent. But it has to be a selfless thing. It cannot be about your own glory. It cannot be about your own honor. It cannot be about your own success. It has to be something where you're like, I am the servant of this this cause. I am the servant of this humanitarian idea or philosophy, and I am just the channeler, and I am not the main person, the main star of it. And when we release this sort of addiction to fame, addiction to recognition, addiction to everybody look at me, look what I can do, and my own self-glory, that's when Rahu can give you some amazing results in the 11th house. And also inspiring in a peculiar way. This is when you really step into inspiring big groups of people in a unique and different way, but your ego has to be purified. This is the biggest thing with Rahu in the 11th. To get all these beautiful gains can only happen if there is a purification of your arrogance and ego and self-centeredness and selfishness. Now, with Rahu being unfavorable here because of bad aspects, difficult signs, or because of your own personal actions that you've taken that actually has led to a difficult Rahu, then you can get more of the unfavorable aspects, which are carelessness, degrades your unscrupulousness, so being too clever, and this starts to degrade your ability to make friendships and connections. Also would rather take money than earn it. That's when you have to be very cautious. You rather, take money instead of earning it in your own way, instead of coming together and earning it and helping others also make their dreams come true. Here we also may have the energy where things up bizarre concepts, where now your ideas are a little bit too bizarre, too out there, and kind of you may not deliver it in the right way to the group of people that can really be the ones that support you. Not being open to, yes, I want to create a community that can actually be expressed, and that I can support a community's ideals. Instead, you may rub the community in the wrong way when Rahu is badly aspected here. Also, you may also experience any sort of deceptive or confused friends, where you attract a lot of deceptive friends, where you attract a lot of confusing friends. And it's like, are they my friend enemy? Are they really here for me? Are they, trying to get something from me? That is when Rahu can be debilitated in the 11th house. And this can lead you into more isolation. So it's also about not choosing associations that can be deceptive towards you or that can confuse you even more. There could also be an older sibling that has problems. Your older siblings may have issues or problems or things that affect them. So that could also be showing from your Rahu negative placement in the 11th house. We can also have reproductive complications, ear ailments where the ears may have some issues, and problems with teeth and gums with the Rahu in the 11th house. So if you've been experiencing any of these negative, unfavorable effects, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that is going to help you to do some remedies to strengthen and to balance out this Rahu so that you can get more of the favorable aspects of this great Rahu, because it can give you some great opportunities here. Definitely check them out. And those were your messages. If you would like to have a personal message to your chart, because of course every single chart is different, this is just a general summary, then definitely book a consultation with me in the description here below. That can really help you. And those were your messages, my people with Rahu in the 11th house. I hope that they help. Love you guys so much. Make sure to give me a like and a hype, and also to leave me in the comments, where is your Rahu placement and how has it shown up for you? Now we're going to be doing Rahu in the 12th house. Welcome to anybody who has Rahu in the 12th house. This is for you. When we have Rahu in the 12th house, we are having a destiny with great knowledge of spirituality and transcendence. This is a lot of your path. There is an open channel to the other side. These are my mediumship people. These are my shamans. These are the people that have very powerful dreams. And if Rahu is badly aspected here, they might actually ruin your dreams. It might actually ruin your sleep. So it is very important for you to have an impeccable sleeping schedule, because you have come into this life to learn more about peace, about serenity, about letting go, and about stepping into this sort of disconnected state where you are sleeping and you can go into the other side of the spiritual world. You really have this open channel of mediumship that naturally comes into your life. Very mystical placement, very spiritual placement. Doing yoga and doing all spiritual meditations are very beneficial for you, and really stepping into the transcendent knowledge, especially of bhakti yoga, is amazing for you, because that is really what your soul is looking for. Your soul is really looking to not reincarnate anymore and to not be in this like hustle bustle of life. There's these people I have found to have this very deep sense of fatigue inside of them. And it is because their Ketu is in the 6th house, which has been hustling and working and fixing and managing and, serving for years and lifetimes to the point that there's excess addiction to productivity. And even though you're really good at it, and even though you're very good at fixing issues and problems, there's a part of you that is exhausted. And here Rahu wants to teach you that the best way to fix a situation is to just not fix it. It's to just not do anything about it. It's to not try to save it. It's to not try to fix it. It's to not try to organize it. Like, just let it go. And that could be the most difficult part here. But Rahu really wants to let it go. It's tired, anxious of the productivity, and is completely burned out, and it wants peace, serenity, and stability. So here in the 12th house, we have resourceful liberator. This is a very powerful energy for liberation and moksha if you have this destiny. Your destiny doesn't lie so much in the material realm of the to-do things and the to-do lists and the serving of other people and being there for others. It's more about you letting go. And usually these people may go through a lot of things in life where like life just doesn't allow them to have something that sticks. Either their family leaves at a very early age, they disconnect from family, they can't have a stable sort of relationship. Like there's like a lot of losses in their life, and they might see like, why is there so many losses? I try so hard to organize them. I try so hard to keep them. I try so hard to fix them. I try so hard to work at them. And that is the key here, is that it's trying to teach you there's some things that you just can't fix, and be comfortable with that, and to embrace peace and relaxation, and to embrace letting go, and to embrace the solitude, and to embrace the quietness. These people may also find themselves very anxious if they were to relax. It's almost like, I can't just like sit around and do nothing. I have to be doing something. I have to be fixing something. I have to be organizing something. But Rahu wants you to just meditate, sit in quiet, stillness, come down, like peace. Even maybe explore some plant medicines, explore some alternate states of mind, but not altered states of mind with drugs and alcohol, but altered states of mind either with like meditation, kundalini yoga, or every now once and again maybe some plant medicine that can really open your mind up and exercising that spiritual part of yourself. So here, when it's favorable, when Rahu's favorable, you get to work in foreign lands as an educator, as a healer, as a philanthropist, and a spiritual worker. These are my spiritual workers, and you do a lot better working in a far away land. This is the best thing for you. Not staying where you were born, not staying in the country that you were born. Like, go far, go to another country, go to a far away land. That will be really healthy for you. Also, when Rahu's strong here, you work in secret or in confiance. You do a lot better working in your own sort of isolation. This is where your best work comes through. You're capable of handling rough or unrefined people. You're capable of managing them, and it doesn't affect you. Also, you work hard. There is this energy of working hard. You do your diligent work, you do your stuff. The idea here is having some boundaries with the work. Just like as hard as you work, you also is non-negotiable with your sleep, is non-negotiable with your rest time. This is very important to manage these two sides so that you don't end up just overworking. Also very monastic, very monk energy. If you were to actually decide to renounce everything and become a monk, become a brahmachari, go live in like a temple and just isolate yourself, this would be very fantastic for you. And Rahu would be very, very happy that you will do something like this. It also has this sort of ability to help others become enlightened, because you step into these energies of spirituality and master them. So it has this destiny with spiritual progress and spiritual ascension, or you help others become more pure by eating better, or by tapping more into their dharma, into their purity. There is very strong spiritual journeys, and also manages always manages always to succeed. You always manage to succeed some way, somehow. So that is when Rahu is in a very strong energies with the 12th house. Now, when the Rahu is debilitated, badly aspected, or in a difficult sign, or is just giving you bad results because of your own actions, we can get more of the unfavorable aspects, which is, your gains that you create are like loss. You lose your gains at the last minute. There's like this loss ability that kind of happens where you were working very hard for something and then you lose it all really quick. So get very careful with investments. Be very careful with your money. Be very careful of how you store your money. Be very careful how you invest your money, because this is prone to giving you losses. There's also this energy of caught in the unscrupulous transactions. There could also be losses through foreigners or in foreign lands if this is badly aspected. There could also be an energy of a loner. Loner is different from embracing solitude and feeling comfortable in solitude. Loner is like you feel lonely within and you feel alone. So it can be giving the sense of energy when Rahu is negatively positioned in the 12th house. There's also this energy of disconnect from reality, especially if you go into drugs, into alcohol, kind of going too much into these altered states of mind, abusing it, then that can also show like a debilitated Rahu in the 12th house. There's also this energy of lack of comfort and pleasures, where you don't get the comforts, you don't get the pleasures that you desire. There could also be a debilitated Rahu showing up as asking others for help, kind of being in this sort of homelessness energy, kind of living out of other people's monies, kind of being this beggar in your life where you're like begging for other people to help you and to give you. That shows a debilitated Rahu in the 12th house. They could also becomes obscure. You can also have trouble with trouble from parasites in your body, and also numbness or loss of sensation in your limbs, as well as eye problems, confusion, or a very strong Vata imbalance. So if you're experiencing any of these negative aspects from Rahu in the 12th house, then I highly suggest that you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that can really help you in creating more of a balanced Rahu energy here for you. And that could help you give more of the positive aspects of the Rahu in the 12th house. Now, those were your messages. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like me to look into your chart, since every chart is different according to your time and date, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me in the description here below. You will be able to find the link. Alrighty, those were your messages, Rahu in the 12th. I hope that they help. And if you like it, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And also let me know in the comments, how did you feel connected to this message, and where is your Rahu placement, so we can all learn from each other. Alrighty, those were your messages, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you. Thank you for the likes, the comments, and all the hypes. Truly appreciate you, and for being part of this series of the planets through the houses. Sending everybody so much love and light, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Hari Bol and Hari Krishna.